Okay, hello everybody. Thank you for joining us today. This is what's new in Visual LANSA v15, LANSA's webinar. I am Tony Graham, Product Marketing Manager here at LANSA, and I am joined by Edgar Wharton, who is Product Manager and our v15 expert here today. So thank you for joining us, Edgar.
Hi,
Appreciate
guys.
that. So before I kind of throw it over to Edgar and he gets into all the cool new features of Visual LANSA, I kind of want to explain low code for anyone new to the low code scene and how LANSA does low code. Now, I know we have a lot of Visual LANSA pros watching, and I appreciate that. I know you guys are eager to see what's new, and we thank you for coming and watching, and we thank you for using Visual LANSA. But I also want to address, like I said, some of the people that are new. So I'm going to take a few minutes just to kind of explain low code and LANSA's approach to low code. And so low code is an application design approach for quickly creating applications using graphical interfaces, wizards, and drag and drop approaches. By eliminating a large amount of intensive hand coding, applications can be created up to 10 times faster than traditional programming methods. And so, low code is really just a methodology, a design approach to create applications more quickly and more efficiently. And so, like how does our, LANSA's low code development platform, what do we do? We can help you build applications faster, better, and at a lower cost. And then, so the question becomes, okay, so how does it happen? So if we take a look at this slide, on the left there, we have traditional software development, which you have, tons of developers that can put out, a lot of code, or if you don't have a ton of developers, you're going to have you're not going to be putting out as much code. Traditional software is intensive. It takes up business resources, and you're learning several different languages. So then low code says, okay, well, we're going to take away some of that burden, give you some drag and drop controls, and you're going to create applications faster, which is true. However, a lot of low code platforms really constrain you on what you can do. If they can't handle complex procedures, which a lot of them can't, you'll have to drop out and go back to traditional coding anyways. And so now you're maintaining your low code libraries, you're maintaining external libraries, and you're creating connectors. So with Visual LANSA, we're saying, okay, we're going to take the best of low code and we're going to take the best of traditional software and we're going to blend them. So you can create applications faster, but still have total control when you need to create some complex applications. So if you kind of look at this pyramid chart here, down at the bottom is your departmental, very simple applications, and right there, that's below any low code platform can handle that. LANSA can handle that. Anyone can. Now, as you start creating enterprise IT applications, as you start creating hyperscale enterprise applications, other low codes are going to start failing. It's going to become more complicated, more complex. Where LANSA scales, well, we'll handle that departmental application just as easy inside our IDE as the hyperscale enterprises. So we are scalable. And that's a huge advantage to Visual LANSA. And so when you look at sort of traditional programming and some other low code, you're going to be creating separate, programs. You're going to have server side, you're going to have your client side, and you're going to have your connectors. With Visual LANSA, it's one language, one IDE. So any developer now becomes a full stack developer because you're going to create an entire application in one ecosystem, in one environment. And the other good thing about ours too is it's build once, deploy anywhere, and that's true. Whether you're IBM Windows, you want to go to the cloud, whether mobile, desktop, web, anything. So you're going to be able to build any application on any platform. And speaking of the we're going to you're going to be able to call RPGs, you're going to be able to call CLs, and you're going to be able to interact with the in a manner that no other low-code platform can do. So it definitely makes us the most flexible. And so with that basis right there, that gives you the background of what low code is and how Visual LANSA is low code different, how you're going to get benefits with our low code. Okay, so that's the little spiel of low code. And now that that's out of the way, I'm going to hand this over to Edgar. He's going to take it from here. He's going to show you some really cool new features. And as he goes through this, there's really, I think, three cool key focuses they did with this new Visual LANSA build. We gave existing developers more tools in their toolbox. We gave them more low-code approaches to create applications quicker. We also focused on new developers. We've enhanced like how it like some sample code and gave resources to new developers, and then we made it even easier than ever to try out Visual LANSA. And so as Edgar will show you, there's kind of three big areas we hit. And so I guess without any further ado, Edgar, if you want to take it over, and we can show them all the cool stuff for V15.
Yeah, definitely. Can everyone hear me all right?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, awesome. Sorry, I've been having a few internet hiccups today lately. So I'm really excited to chat with all of you today and show you some of the new features for this first iteration of version 15 of Visual LANSA. So one of the first things I want to actually tell you all about is that, we've packed over 500 quality improvements and enhancements that really improve on the performance, developer efficiency, and really the overall ease of use for Visual LANSA. So in a nutshell, as you can kind of see before you, we've added additional templates to help you, potential and existing customers, in the material design language. And that's one of the things that we so that similar to other native controls that can be accessed on the controls tab, users can, they can drag and drop a chart onto the layout, and they can style and manipulate the chart at design time. And so that enables them to use different RDMLX controls, such as animation controls. And that's something that I'm actually going to demonstrate to you a little bit later when I show you our new and updated dashboard template. Additionally, we've added a new code generator for publishing web APIs, and we've added some amazing new Git enhancements and the ability for you to load data from Excel workbooks. And one of the great benefits about that is you'll be able to, my audio's breaking up. Excuse me, 1 second. Let me handle this.
Sorry about this, slight technical hiccup here. We'll give them a couple more seconds here. If not, I'll take over.
All right, is my sound better now?
There you go, I got you back.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I think someone's working on the internet within my neighborhood, so it's breaking up. Sorry about that, you guys. But yeah, as I was saying, I'll go back to explaining the enhancements to being able to load the data from Excel. So one of the great things about being able to do that is when you are a potential customer and you really just want to get a feel for how your data may actually look within a Visual LANSA generated application, you'll be able to, instead of connecting your personalized database for your enterprise or business, you'll be able to connect a small subset of that data from an Excel worksheet and bring that over into LANSA created tables, and you'll be able to work off of that to create a prototype of what that application may look like. So that is just some of the few enhancements that we have actually brought within this first iteration. And so that is what we'll be going over some of today and what I'll demonstrate to you all. And as I previously stated, this is just the initial launch of version 15. And coming at the end of this quarter will be the first service pack for version 15, in which we'll be unveiling really the first phase of what we consider a game changer for how we develop fluid web application experiences within Visual LANSA. So for all you new and existing users out there, this means that, when you build for one, you can build for them all. It means that being able to have access to device features through the browser and creating truly fluid isomorphic experiences between desktop and mobile environments. And so this is going to be a really amazing thing, and it's going to enable enterprises, businesses, small, medium, large, what have you, to be able to truly scale their solutions. So really stay tuned to our blogs and stay tuned to our LinkedIn posts and everything over the coming months as we prepare you for that. So with that said, I want to introduce you to some of the key features in V15. So can I get the next slide, please? So with the new code generator for publishing web APIs, we enable you to seamlessly select tables and fields to make publicly available parts of your data to your end users and third-party integrators. So it's really through an easy click-through solution, the code generator will produce RESTful API code with the ability to perform get, create, update, and delete. Additionally, it'll automatically generate schema and definitions with a new drag and drop of the table and field to the schema types in the API definitions tab. And I'll be going over that in a very nice little demo that'll actually show you how much code is actually generated, as well as how we have commented out various parts of the code so that for new and existing users, you'll be able to see what is actually happening, the summary of what each API part does as well. Can I get the next slide? One of our other really great features that I love to point out for V15 is the native chart controls. And so our new library of chart controls, it utilizes the stunning charts from Chart.js. Previously, we used the Google Chart widgets, which relied on an internet connection. And so having these native primitives within Visual LANSA, it allows developers to manipulate and style their charts at design time. And so this will allow you to also use other parts of Visual LANSA to add in animation details, as well as other points of manipulation for your charts. So once I demonstrate to you our updated dashboard template, you'll be able to get a better understanding of how you'll be able to create stunning dashboards for your business needs. And who doesn't actually want a wonderful dashboard to walk into an office in the morning? So that's going to be a really fun thing to see. And I can't wait for you guys to actually play around with it yourself and be able to utilize some of those controls. Can I get the next step? So, as I said previously, the import Excel worksheets, we've added a new area on the ribbon where you're able to import Excel worksheets. The way this works is if you have Microsoft Office Excel already installed on your machine, and if you have a ODBC connector that is already installed, if not, there'll be a pop-up that you'll receive. That pop-up will send you to a link where you'll just download a software from Microsoft and it'll be installed in the background. And once that's installed, you will select any of your Excel .xls files, and it will take you through an easy click-through wizard. And you will select whatever file that you would like to bring into LANSA. You will verify that data, verify the fields and the columns are correct. And then once you have done that, those fields will be transferred into LANSA tables. And you will be able to use those tables in your application that you create without having to connect to your actual database. This is a really great tool to use when you just want to do a quick prototype to show maybe some of your external stakeholders, as well as get a better idea of a new project that you would like to spearhead within your company. Next slide. Additionally, we have made some really great version control enhancements. And this is a first in a series of version control enhancements that'll be coming out throughout the remainder of the year. So one thing that we've done this year is we've provided a YAML comparison tool that will enable customers to view differences between changes that have been made. So we provided highlighting, we provided the line numbers, as well as indentation, just to highlight any of the differences that have been made within any of your YAML files. Additionally, we've added actions that can be placed on branches, such as being able to perform a checkout, a merge, and being able to rebase and create branches. One of the great things about this is that you don't necessarily have to go back and forth. You're able to go to the version control tab, and you are able to right click on the branch. You're able to select the branch action that you want to perform, and you are good to go from there. You're also able to view the list of commits that have happened within that local and remote repository as well. So what our focus is here is just to really make it easier and to show that we have a commitment to truly integrating the solutions that we provide into the Visual LANSA IDE. And as the year goes on, we're going to continuously promote and build out more solutions so that within the Visual LANSA IDE, you know, there's not much need to step outside of it.
And what's great about version control, if you're in a field like accounting where you're going to have audits and you need to prove changes and show changes and who made changes, this is a very simple way to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we use, we use open source Git, and it has served a wonderful purpose. And if you are new to LANSA, one of the other things that we do provide, we have runners. We use GitLab runners as well. So if you have some extra time, you can go to docs.lansa.com, and you can kind of do a quick search in our search bar and just look up GitLab. And it'll kind of give you an overview of some of the options that you have there as well. Can I get the next slide, please? So this one in particular is something that is going to be very helpful for one, especially our existing customers, but definitely for our new customers. So I want to say that we definitely have listened to you guys, because I know that this is something that many of our customers have wanted, and I'm really happy to say that we have this now. So the event log manager is ultimately going to centralize detailed event and error information for all Visual LANSA related products. So you will have the information available for things such as the main install, deployment, the web server extension, LANSA integrator, LANSA open, and much more. Additionally, you can turn off event logging or limit the amount of data that is logged with each event log record. And if you need to replicate a specific scenario, you can erase the event log and only see information relevant to the scenario that you're attempting to replicate. So in doing this, it really streamlines the process of understanding and being able to trace and track issues that may come up within the application that you're building. So this is a very huge triumph that we've brought to V15. And one thing that I can say is that we're just going to continuously build on this. And next slide, I'm going to actually go into the demo aspect.
Okay, let me pause my share. Okay, I think we have control now.
All right. So, first thing I want to point out to you guys is this is for all the new people that are joining us today. This is the base screen for the Visual LANSA IDE. On the screen, you have various links that will take you to, being able to see the templates for building web and mobile applications, being able to explore our material design controls, as well as we have an area for the Visual LANSA framework. And the framework actually enables you to quickly prototype applications, especially for use as for internal uses. But we won't go into that as much as I want to show you some of the new features that we'll be bringing out in version 15. So the first thing I want to show you guys is the code generator for the new web APIs. So we wanted to make sure that this was going to be very familiar. So if you go to File, New, click on Server Module, you'll see that there's a new one here for Web API. So clicking on Web API, many of you will see a very familiar dialog that will pop up. So the first thing I'm actually going to do is I'm going to select the table. And I'm going to select the use car tutorial, which is something I'm going to show you later. And that is our new tutorial application that is pretty phenomenal. And it will take you through building an entire used car site that will give you a wonderful introduction to Visual LANSA. So let's say I want to expose the car makes. And I'm going to select this table. I want to expose this to my end users. The object noun, that's actually going to be provided and automatically filled in. And I'm going to put in car make, just say webinar, and demo v15 as a description. And I'm just going to click create. And in the background, what's going to happen is it's going to create a server module, and it's going to put together the RESTful API code. And one of the things that I really love about what we did with the code generator is that we commented out all of the important information that new and existing users would need. So one of the things about Visual LANSA is that we realize that we have people that are, modernizing their enterprises. We have people that, that they know where they are coming from, they know what they want to do, but we also have people that are unfamiliar with moving into the API economy. So we want to make sure that we are taking care of all markets equally. So within this, you have we provide an understanding of the content types. We provide an understanding of what the open API spec is going to look like. And then we provide the API summary for each additional path and what action the actual method will take. So within that, you're provided with each server routine, as well as a detailed understanding of every single action that will happen. And I just think that's really amazing. It was a lot of work for us to do this in the background, but we feel that we want to make sure that, everyone has an educational moment and that they're able to build off of this to the best of their ability. Outside of the source code that you will always have access to and you will always be able to manipulate, within the API definition tab, you're able to utilize any additional security requirements. You're able to see the various paths. You're also able to drag and drop field definitions onto the schema types, and you're able to change any of this information that you need to. So we wanted to make sure that even though we provide the best in low-code solutions, that we also provide the flexibility that all of our end users need in order to scale up their applications and provide complexity when they need to provide complexity. So one of the next things that I wanted to show you guys, and again, obviously I love this one the most because I love visual things, is the native chart controls. So as many of you know, like I said, within the controls bar, we've made those controls native. So now you're able to drag and drop them. So we have a multitude of charts that you have access to, and they're now all native, and you will be able to manipulate them at design time. I'm gonna go back to my repository. Oops, sorry. And let me show you all the wonderful new application. Rebuild it. Just give me a second while I access this and rebuild the dashboard template application for you all. So in this area, this is where you would essentially go to generate some of our templates. And these templates allow you to ultimately get a sense of how you can put together certain LANSA-driven applications. It's a really great way to start and quickly drum up your own applications based on your own needs. So let's say that you need to quickly put together a dashboard to monitor your company's performance or any of its resources or resource allocation. So you could come to this dashboard template. You can look this over, understand the various components of it, and then replicate this yourself. And so this is a really great learning tool, but it's also a really quick way for you to actually start to prototype things. So we're just going to generate this. And as you can see, after it's generated, all the information is going to show up in the repository of the actual main application and the various tables that it's attached to. And then on the right-hand side, you will see all of the design fundamentals and the layout of the entire dashboard template. And in just a couple of minutes, it will actually move over to the actual website that will be launched. There we go. And so ultimately, these are what the new chart controls actually look like. So with the new chart controls, like I said earlier, you receive beautiful bubble charts, as well as you have the interactivity that you can add more deeper level things that you would only see in JavaScript. These things are added through the RDMLX controls that we provide to you from the native charts controls. Additionally, if I scroll down, you'll see that in having these as native chart controls, you can add in other RDMLX primitives and use the animation controls that we provide and add additional manipulations to this in your templates as well. So there are a multitude of things that you're able to actually do now more than ever, that will increase, one, the beauty, and two, the interactivity that you can provide your end users, whether they be internal or external. And so one of the last things that I wanted to really demonstrate to you all is the ability to import your own Excel worksheets from your own data. And so, like I said, this is one of my other very favorite features that we've actually come out with, and I'm really excited about this one. So in the toolbar, if you go to Import Excel Worksheets, you would ultimately just go to select your Excel workbook. Right now I have 2019's top 50 Spotify songs. So I'm going to select OK. Next. I have one warning, and I can go ahead and see what that warning is. It does not have any primary keys. I can change that if I go back into the Excel workbook. Click Next again. And in the background, it's generating everything and laying all the information out for me. And now I get a notification that my worksheets have been loaded into LANSA tables, and I am able to go back to my repository. I'm able to open up my tables, go down, and I can select them, and I'm able to see that my tables have actually been inserted as LANSA tables, and I can start my work from there, and I can build my application based on this worksheet that I have inserted very quickly and very easily. And of course, the more data that you do insert, the longer period of time that this would take. This was only 50 rows of data, but at the same time, going even up to 2,000, 3,000 rows of data is very, very quick. It takes virtually no time for this to actually load into the system. So again, this is just a really amazing tool just for you to quickly prototype any of your potential applications that you want to create. And so what I do want to show you next is just a couple other sample applications that we have right now. That I'm gonna have to rebuild. Ah, there we go. So, there we go. So this is the LANSA Exchange, and within our sample application area, you can generate the LANSA Exchange to see the entirety of the source code, as well as be able to view all the server modules and the various components. The LANSA Exchange is a simple application that allows you to do currency exchange for foreign exchange or cryptocurrency. The reason we created this sample application is to allow you to get a better understanding of being able to consume web services and bring third-party web APIs into your own applications. So this is going to be very, very useful in terms of being able to integrate into other services and bring those into yourself. Like I said, when we provide these sample applications to you, it allows you to get an understanding of, how things are structured within LANSA's proprietary language, RDML, RDMLX, and then how you can recreate those server modules to interact with other web services that are out there. Additionally, we have the new used car application And this is a new tutorial that will actually take you through the process of building out this application. So for, let's say, if you're a new LANSA developer or you're bringing people onto your team that will be using the Visual LANSA product, this will take them through all the basics and necessities that they'll need to know to actually build out their first LANSA web application. We've added a new web tutorial that they'll have access to. And this is something that Tony will actually go over a little bit. And this is going to be a part of our new Learn LANSA as well. Lastly, the last thing I'm going to actually go ahead and mention is we will continuously update our area for material design. And like I said before, we are deeply committed to Google's material design language and this entire system. And as this year goes on, we have added in so many new components and so many new properties that over the next quarter, actually, you guys will ultimately be able to make your mobile and web browser-based applications indistinguishable from most applications that you will see on an iOS or Android device. We're bringing a lot of new design languages and tools into the hands of our Visual LANSA users, and we're very, very excited about that. Tony, I'm gonna let it go back to you.
One real quick, we have a question, and I know before we get to the Q&A here, since you're up already, can you show your Excel sheet? There's some interest in actually seeing the Excel sheet before upload. That way they get a feel of what it what it looks like.
Yeah.
That's just a normal.
Yeah.
Nothing fancy. Yeah. Okay.
Nothing fancy. Mine is just like very normal. Nothing fancy at all.
Cool. Thank you. I know that was a couple people are asking about that, so I definitely wanted to show them that it's just a normal Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah, it's just a normal Excel spreadsheet. However, if I did have decimal values, so it will accept like floating points and things of that nature. If that was the question, sorry, I didn't really see like any of the questions pop up or anything of that nature. But yeah, it will accept like a floating point and things of that nature. And if there are specific questions as to what it will accept and will not accept, please point those out to me. Let me see if I can, hold on, get this up for a second. All right. All right, you mentioned Chart.js can be used for graphing. Is there another license required? No. So Chart.js, that's just a library that we have taken a lot of the charts from. There's no license required from that whatsoever. That's just the charts that we have been using. And so all the charts that you saw within the controls tab, those are the charts that you will natively have access to. So there are no licenses required for that whatsoever. For buying licenses, we need to search for a local partner, or we can talk directly with LANSA. How much is the cost for Visual LANSA licenses? So for buying licenses, you would really need to speak directly with a LANSA sales representative. And if you go to the lansa.com website and fill out the form that you see, just to try it out, you'll have one of the sales representatives reach out to you and they can discuss further with you. There could be a local partner within your area or not. However, it would be best to talk to them about the cost to actually purchase one of the licenses. Let's see, we're currently on version 14 SP1. How easy, difficult is upgrading onto 15 SP1? Are the chart controls for web app or Windows 2? Any possibility for Gantt charts or scheduling charts? All right, so updating from 14 SP1. So the first thing is you would have to get on to 14 SP2, and then you would have to move to version 15 from there. If you're on a maintenance upgrade package, then you should be easily able to get to 14 SP2. However, I would urge you to reach out to support and provide all of your hardware information, as well as the type of applications that you have been creating, whether you have been using Visual LANSA for the I-series or not. Just because those are the questions that really need to be answered and to determine the difficulty in upgrading or not. The chart controls for web app or Windows, yes, chart controls are able to be used for both web apps and Windows. And possibility for Gantt charts or scheduling charts, we can definitely look into providing Gantt charts or scheduling charts. Those aren't available as of right now, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's an impossibility. Is there study material to know more about creating APIs?
Yeah, you want me to take that one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So there's already a small tutorial out there if you're on 14 SB2. And then when you get 15, we have a tutorial all ready to go for version 15. And so that'll be available, whoever gets V15 now, because it's available. There's a question down. V15 was actually available yesterday to the general public, so it is available for you guys to get right now. And what's exciting is that by the end of the month, there's going to be a brand new Learn LANSA e-learning website. And so there's going to be much more study material. And if you get V15 now, you'll have access to like the API tutorial in V15, so you know exactly how to create those step by step. And so, yes, there is study material to know more about the APIs.
All right, so one important question that I did just see, is the demo version already LANSA 15 or is it still version 14? All right, so Mark, the demo version right now is still version 14. We are working on finalizing the demo version for LANSA 15. That one will be available within the coming weeks. However, if you are interested in using a demo version of LANSA version 15, please reach out to one of the sales representatives and they can work to provide you with a demo copy of it. And I see there's a question from Arlene. We have an application built completely of WAMs and want to start learning and moving to VL Web. Is there interoperability to allow the passing of persist fields and control from a WAM to a VL Web and back again from the VL Web view or dialog back to the WAMs? So Arlen, that's a really good question. So what I'm gonna say, at least for the first part, I do say yes to transitioning and starting to learn VL Web and moving away from the WAMs. In terms of the interoperability, I'm not 100% sure and certain on that aspect. What I can say is that we have had some issues with passing of persist fields. And I would actually urge you to reach out to one of either our support team or our services team, just with that specific question, to get a better answer as to whether that would be possible, or if you would have to truly just rebuild your application in its entirety. Because I don't want to give you the wrong impression at all. So that would be the best idea for you to do at this point. So I would love to answer all of your questions, but I really think that Tony needs to start his section on Learn LANSA. But yeah.
Yeah, so I'm actually, we're running low on time, so all I'll do is say a quick blurb about it. Is be paying attention. We're really excited. It's a whole brand new dedicated e-learning called Learn LANSA. It'll be out by the end of the month. And this is really, and it's going to be very fluid. It's not static. We're going to be constantly updating this, getting feedback from our customers with what they need. to learn or what they're weak on, and we will be constantly updating this with new material. And this will be if say if you're on V14, V15, it'll just be a great value for our customers. So be on the lookout for that. Like I said, it'll launch by the end of the month in somewhat limited capability. I mean, there's going to be a lot of stuff on it, but not. I mean, by the end of the year, we're just going to keep adding to it. So that is really exciting. And then before we wrap up, I did want to mention one of our modernization products, called Axes. And so, you know, with work from home really going up during these trying times, and people might not have access to their 5250 applications, LANSA Axes will actually seamlessly, you know, empower your workforce to access their 5250 applications from anywhere. And so it's a really great modernization product that might help during this time where you have more people working from home and they need to access these critical applications. Well, with Axes, you can quickly web enable your 5250 green screen applications. And what's great about it is you can also access your IBM spool files. You can access your database over the web, and there's no coding or you don't even need your source code. It's completely code-free. And so, and right now, we currently have some amazing prices that's including support to make sure you get your projects completed and deployed quickly as possible. So, you know, we wanted to mention this just because, like I said, the times right now with people working from home, where if you have green screen and employees need to access those green screens and can't, this will do it very, very quickly. And that's LANSA's Axes. And so then the final is there's sales at lansa.com. If email them with any questions, whether it's the Axes, whether it's the Visual LANSA 15, and they'll get you hooked up. So thank you everybody for coming and watching our webinar. Thank you, Edgar, for that demonstration. That's awesome. Super excited that this is now out, that people get their hands on it and really quickly, efficiently start making some really awesome apps. So again, thank you everybody. I appreciate it and have a great day.
Thanks, guys.